Her abusive ex grabbed her arm at the party. The Korean Mafia boss's hand went to his jacket. Part 2. Click the link in the description of this video to watch Part 1 to understand and know how my story all started. So friends, let's get into Part 2. 3 days. That's how long I'd been living in his house. Really living. Not hiding. Not waiting for the other shoe to drop. Just existing in a space where someone wanted me there. I was starting to sleep through the night. Starting to drink my coffee without checking the door every 30 seconds. Starting to believe that maybe this was real. Then his phone rang at 2 in the morning. I heard him answer in the other room. Korean. Fast. His voice that particular kind of calm that meant something was very wrong. If you're just joining us or you missed Part 1, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Drop your location and time in the comments. I want to know who's awake at 2 a.m. watching their world fall apart with me. When he came back into the bedroom, his face was different. Not scared. Hyuk-jin didn't do scared, but careful, calculated, like he was already 3 moves ahead of something I couldn't see yet. What happened? I asked. He sat on the edge of the bed. Didn't look at me right away. My organization wants to meet you. Meet me? They want to know why I claimed you publicly. Why I've been using resources to protect you. Why I made you a priority without clearance. My stomach dropped. Clearance. In my world, personal attachments are liabilities. Especially ones that. He paused. That cost money. Time. Attention. I didn't ask you to. I know. He finally looked at me. But I did it anyway. And now they want to know if you're worth what I spent. Or if you're a problem they need to remove. The word remove hung in the air like smoke. Remove how? He didn't answer. Didn't need to. They're giving me 30 days, he said quietly, to prove you're an asset, not a distraction. And if you can't, then I have to choose. The organization or you. I pulled the blanket tighter around myself. What happens if you choose me? I lose my position, my resources, my men, everything I've built. He stood, walked to the window, and without that infrastructure, I can't protect you. Can't protect anyone. So I'm not just your problem. I'm everyone's problem. You're not a problem, Marcia. Then what am I? He turned, looked at me with that expression I was starting to recognize. The one that was half control, half something softer. You're the first thing I wanted that wasn't about power, and they don't know what to do with that. I sat there, processing. 3 days ago, I thought the hard part was over. Thought accepting his protection meant safety. I didn't realize safety had a price, and that price was proving I deserved it. What do they want from me? I asked. Proof that you're more than what I feel for you. He said it simply, that you have value beyond being mine. And if I don't, then in 30 days, they'll make me let you go, and everyone I've kept away from you will know you're unprotected. He didn't say what would happen after that. He didn't have to. I'd spent 2 years running from Patrick. 18 months thinking I was finally free. Turns out I was just trading one kind of danger for another. The difference was this danger came with a countdown. The meeting was in 3 days. Hyuk-jin tried to prepare me. Tried to explain who these people were. What they'd ask. How I should act. But how do you prepare for a job interview with the Mafia? They're not going to hurt you, he said the night before. Not physically. That would be disrespectful to me. But they can hurt me other ways. Yes. At least he was honest. The morning of the meeting, I couldn't eat. Couldn't think. Just sat there staring at my coffee while Hyuk-jin made phone calls in 3 different languages. When it was time to leave, he came over. Crouched in front of my chair. Listen to me, he said quietly. These men have spent 40 years building what they have. They see you as a risk. A crack in my judgment. Your job today is to show them you're not. How? By being exactly what you are. Smart. Careful. Strong enough to survive 2 years of hell and still be standing. I'm terrified. Good. Fear makes you sharp. He stood. Just don't let them see it. The building was downtown. Glass and steel. Looked like any other office. But the men waiting on the 15th floor were nothing like any interview panel I'd ever faced. 3 of them. All Korean. All older than Hyuk-jin. All watching me like I was a problem they needed to solve. Hyuk-jin stood beside me. Didn't sit. The man in the center spoke first. English. Accented but clear. You are Marcia. Yes. You are the woman Hyuk-jin has claimed publicly. The woman he has spent considerable resources protecting. I nodded. Do you know what those resources cost? No, sir. $230,000. 17 men reassigned from profitable operations. 6 weeks of his personal attention. He leaned forward. That is what you have cost this organization. My throat was dry. I didn't know. Of course you didn't. You were being protected. Protected people rarely know the price. Before I tell you what happened next, I need you to understand something. What these men said in that room changed everything I thought I knew about my own worth, and what I'd have to become to survive. If you're invested in this story, subscribe right now. Drop a comment and tell me. Would you fight to prove your value, or walk away to save everyone the cost? Because what I chose in the next 60 seconds set everything else in motion. We have documentation, another man said, sliding a folder across the table. Every threat neutralized, every intervention made, every expense logged. I opened it, saw my life itemized like a budget report. Patrick's relocation, $47,000. Hospital record acquisition, $8,500. Private investigator deterrent, $12,000. It went on for 3 pages. You see the problem, the first man said. Hyuk-jin has treated you as an investment, but investments must provide return. You have provided nothing except cost and distraction. I didn't ask for any of this. No, but you accepted it. And acceptance creates debt. He folded his hands. So we are offering a solution. You have 30 days to demonstrate value to this organization. If you succeed, you may stay under Hyuk-jin's protection with our approval. If you fail, I leave. You leave? And Hyuk-jin stops wasting our resources chasing ghosts who threaten you. I looked at Hyuk-jin. His face was stone, but his hand, the one closest to me, was clenched tight. What kind of value? I asked. That is for you to determine. We are not interested in what Hyuk-jin sees in you. We are interested in what you can do for us. The meeting lasted another 20 minutes, but that was the core of it. Prove I was useful, or lose everything. When we left, Hyuk-jin didn't speak until we were back in the car. I'm sorry, he said finally. For what? For making you worth something to them. You were safer when you were invisible. I stared out the window at the city passing by, at the life I'd been living for 3 days thinking I was finally safe. I don't want to be invisible anymore, I said quietly. Then we have 30 days to make you valuable. And if I can't? He didn't answer, but I already knew. If I couldn't prove I was worth the cost, I'd go back to being alone. And this time, there wouldn't be anyone watching from across the room with their hand on their jacket. This time, I'd be on my own. I spent the first week terrified, the second week angry. By the third week, I was something else entirely. Determined. Hyuk-jin had given me access to his office, told me to figure out what I could offer, what skills I had that an organization like his could use. I felt useless. I've been a victim for so long I forgot I was anything else. Then I found my old resume. It was in a box from my apartment. Stuff I'd packed and forgotten about. I opened it one night when I couldn't sleep, and there it was. Master's degree in forensic accounting. Data analysis specialist. 5 years experience before Patrick convinced me I wasn't smart enough to keep working. I'd believed him. Quit my job. Stayed home. Let him tell me I was nothing. But the degree was real. The skills were real. I just buried them so deep I forgot they existed. The next morning, I showed Hyuk-jin. He stared at the paper like it was evidence of a crime. You have a master's degree? I still do. Technically. I felt stupid saying it. I haven't used it in 3 years. Why not? Patrick said I was wasting my time. That I should focus on. I stopped. It doesn't matter. I stopped working. Hyuk-jin set the resume down carefully. Forensic accounting. Finding financial discrepancies. Following money trails. Catching fraud. I shrugged. I was good at it. Before he made you think you weren't. Yeah. He picked up his phone, made a call, spoke in Korean for 2 minutes. When he hung up, he looked at me differently. Not like I was something to protect, like I was something useful. The organization moves a lot of money, he said. Legal businesses, investments, property, but also other things. Illegal things. Yes, and those operations require clean books, legitimate fronts, people who can make dirty money look clean. Money laundering. Financial management. He said it like there was a difference. We have accountants, but we don't have anyone who specializes in finding problems before they become investigations. I understood what he was saying. You want me to audit your operations. I want you to prove you can. The seniors are meeting again in 2 weeks. If you can show them something they didn't know, some risk they missed, some discrepancy they overlooked, they'll see you as valuable. And if I can't, then we're back where we started. He stood, walked to his desk, pulled out a laptop. Everything you need is here. Financial records for the last 3 years. Subsidiary companies. Property acquisitions. Investment portfolios. He said it in front of me. Find something wrong. And if there's nothing wrong, there's always something wrong. You just have to know where to look. He left me alone with the laptop. I sat there staring at it, at the chance to be something other than a victim, other than a cost. I opened the first file. Numbers. Hundreds of thousands of transactions. Dates. Names. Account transfers. It should have been overwhelming. Instead, it felt like coming home. I'd forgotten what it felt like to be good at something. To see patterns other people missed. To know that my brain wasn't broken. It was just trained on the wrong things. Patrick had spent 2 years teaching me to be small. Hyukjin was giving me 2 weeks to remember how to be sharp. I worked for 16 hours straight that first day. Found 3 discrepancies by midnight. Small things. Transfers that didn't match invoices. Expenses that appeared twice in different subsidiaries. Timing inconsistencies that could mean mistakes or could mean something else. When Hyukjin came to check on me, I had notes covering the desk. "You found something," he said. "I found a lot of things. I don't know what they mean yet, but something's off." He looked at my work, at the patterns I'd highlighted. "Keep going. What if I'm wrong?" "Then you're wrong. But I don't think you are." He met my eyes. "You're doing what they said was impossible. You're making yourself valuable." "I'm just looking at numbers." "No, you're proving Patrick was a liar." I worked for 6 more days. Barely slept. Barely ate. Just followed the money. And what I found made my stomach turn. Someone was stealing. Not small amounts. Millions. It was buried so deep I almost missed it. Transfers split across multiple accounts. Invoices that matched but referenced projects that didn't exist. Payments to vendors that weren't real companies. Whoever was doing this knew how to hide it. But they didn't know someone like me would be looking. I showed Hyukjin on day 8. This subsidiary, KPH Holdings. It's paid out $18 million in the last 2 years to a company called Meridian Solutions. And Meridian Solutions doesn't exist. Not legally. No registration. No tax filings. No physical address. His expression didn't change, but his hand stopped moving. "Show me." I pulled up the records. Showed him the pattern. Payments made quarterly. Always just under the threshold that would trigger automatic audits. Always approved by the same manager. "Who manages KPH?" I asked. 3 people. All senior. All trusted. One of them isn't. He made a call. Spoke quietly. When he hung up, his face was stone. "The seniors want to see what you found. Tomorrow." "Tomorrow." "They gave you 30 days? You found something in 8. They want to know if it's real." My hands were shaking. "What if I'm wrong?" "Then you're wrong. But if you're right." He looked at me. "If you're right, you just saved this organization $18 million and exposed a traitor. What happens to the traitor? That's not your concern." But I could guess. The next morning, I stood in front of the same 3 men who'd given me the ultimatum. This time, I had evidence. I walked them through it. Every transfer. Every fake invoice. Every shell company. I'd spent 8 days tracking money through 6 different accounts across 3 countries. And it all led back to one person. A senior manager named Chun. One of the 3 who ran KPH Holdings. When I finished, the room was silent. The man in the center looked at Hyukjin. "You verified this?" I had 2 independent accountants check her work. "It's accurate." $18 million. "Yes." "Over 2 years." "Yes." The man looked at me. "How did we miss this?" "You weren't looking for it. The amounts were small enough individually. The accounts were diverse enough. And whoever set this up knew your audit patterns." "Chin knew our audit patterns." "Yes, sir." Another silence. "What else did you find?" I hesitated, then opened my second folder. "There's more." Hyukjin's head turned. He didn't know about the second folder. I kept digging after I found the KPH problem. Wanted to see if it was isolated. I pulled out more documents. It's not. There are similar patterns in 2 other subsidiaries. Different managers. Different methods. But the same basic structure. "How much total?" I took a breath. 47 million. Over 3 years. The room went cold. $47 million has been stolen from this organization, the senior said slowly. "And you found it in 8 days." "Yes, sir." "Why didn't our accountants find it?" "Because your accountants weren't looking for it. They were checking compliance. Making sure the books looked right. I was looking for what didn't make sense." He leaned back. Looked at the other 2 seniors. They spoke in Korean. Fast. Intense. When they finished, the center man looked at me. "You have provided significant value to this organization. Value that far exceeds the cost of your protection." I couldn't breathe. However, he continued, "The people you have exposed are not forgiving. They have resources, connections, and they now know you are the reason their operations will end." "What does that mean?" "It means you are no longer a liability to Hyukjin. You are now a target to them." Hyukjin stepped forward. "She'll be protected." "She will need to be. Because as of this moment, she has made very dangerous enemies." The meeting ended. I'd proven my worth, and painted a target on my back. Hyukjin didn't speak until we were in the car. 47 million, he said quietly. "I should have told you about the rest." "No, you should have done exactly what you did." He looked at me. "You didn't just prove you're valuable. You proved you're dangerous." "Dangerous how?" "Dangerous to anyone trying to hide something." "Is that good?" "In my world, yes." But his hand was tight on the steering wheel. And I realized that being valuable and being safe weren't the same thing. I should have known it wouldn't end there. 3 days after my presentation, I got an email. Unknown sender. Encrypted. I almost deleted it. Then I saw the subject line, about Patrick. My blood went cold. I opened it. Inside were 3 photographs. Patrick, alive, sitting in what looked like a safe house, looking healthy, looking at the camera like he knew I'd see this. Below the photos, a message. He's ready to tell his story. About the man who threatened him, who made him disappear, who stole his girlfriend. The FBI is very interested. So are we. You have 48 hours to decide which story gets told, yours or his. There was a phone number at the bottom. My hands were shaking so hard, I dropped the phone. Hyuk-jin found me 20 minutes later, still sitting there, staring at nothing. What happened? I showed him the email. His face went blank. That terrible calm that meant violence was 3 seconds away. Who sent this? I don't know. Patrick's supposed to be in Nevada, under a different name, with no way to contact anyone. Then someone found him, and they're using him. Hyuk-jin made 3 calls, all in Korean, all short. When he hung up, he looked at me. This is Chun, or someone working with him. They know you exposed them. They know the organization is moving against them, so they're building leverage. With Patrick's testimony, if he goes to the FBI and claims I threatened him, kidnapped you, forced him to disappear, they'll investigate. And investigations expose everything, not just me, the whole organization. So what do? We find out who's protecting Patrick and why. He pulled out his laptop, started tracing the email, the photos, the metadata. I just sat there. Patrick was alive. Patrick was talking. Patrick was being offered money and protection to destroy the man who'd saved me. And somewhere, someone thought I'd help him do it. The phone rang. Unknown number. I looked at Hyuk-jin. He nodded. I answered. Marcia. Patrick's voice. Smooth. Familiar. Like poison I'd almost forgotten tasted sweet. Patrick. I've missed you. I don't care. You should, because I'm about to become very important to your new life. I heard him shift. These people, the ones protecting me, they have an offer. You corroborate my story. Tell the FBI that Hyuk-jin threatened you, forced you to stay, and we both walk away. Free. Protected. Together. Together? Like we should have been, before he got between us. I wanted to throw up. You put me in the hospital, Patrick. I made mistakes. I'm sorry, but he's not better. He's just richer. He never hurt me. He controlled you, isolated you, made you dependent. Sound familiar? It did. God help me, it did. I'm not helping you, I said. Then you're helping them. The people who stole $47 million. The people who'll kill me if I don't give them what they want. His voice dropped. They told me about your audit, Marcia. How you found their operation. How you exposed them. They're not happy. And they're offering me a deal. My testimony for their protection. Your cooperation for your safety. You're threatening me. I'm offering you a choice. Help me tell the truth, or watch Hyuk-jin go to prison while the people you exposed come for you. He hung up. I sat there, phone in my hand. Hyuk-jin was already pulling up files, maps, locations. They're using Patrick as bait, he said, offering him money and protection to testify. Probably promised him they'd help him get you back. What happens if he testifies? Federal investigation, asset seizure, arrests. The organization collapses. And me? You become the victim he rescues. The woman I kidnapped and controlled. His credibility goes up. Mine goes down. And you're caught in the middle. What happens in the next 48 hours will either save everything I've built or destroy it completely. If you've made it this far, you're invested. Hit that subscribe button. Tell me in the comments, would you trust the man who saved you or the man who almost killed you? Because the choice I made next changed everything. I didn't sleep that night. Just stared at the ceiling thinking about Patrick's voice. He sounded so reasonable, so calm, like he was the victim, like I was the one being controlled. Hyuk-jin came in around 3. You should rest. I can't. He sat on the edge of the bed. What did Patrick say that's keeping you awake? That you're no different than him. That you control me too, just with better resources. Do you believe that? I thought about it. Really thought. Patrick controlled me by making me small, by convincing me I was nothing without him, that I deserved what he did. I looked at Hyuk-jin. You've never made me feel small. But I did control your life. You protected my life. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. I sat up. Because when I wanted to leave, you let me. You gave me a choice. Patrick never gave me choices. He gave me consequences for disobedience. Hyuk-jin was quiet. The seniors gave me 48 hours, I said, to decide if I'm going to complete this audit or destroy my findings and help Patrick instead. They can't make you. They can. Patrick's testimony puts you in prison. My testimony could keep you out, but only if I'm willing to say you didn't threaten him, didn't force me, didn't do any of the things he's about to claim. And if you tell the truth, then I become the woman who chose a criminal over her victim ex-boyfriend. The courts won't believe me. The FBI won't believe me. And Patrick's people, Chin's people, they'll make sure I disappear. I won't let that happen. You might not have a choice. He stood, walked to the window. There's a third option, he said quietly. What? You complete the audit. Present the findings to the seniors. Expose Chin's entire operation. He turned. And you record Patrick's threats. His confession that he's working with the people who stole $47 million. That he's lying for money. He won't confess. He will if he thinks you're helping him. I understood what he was saying. You want me to call him back? Pretend I'm considering his offer. Get him to admit he's being paid to lie. Yes. And then what? Then we give that recording to the FBI along with the audit findings. Prove Patrick's testimony is bought. Prove Chin's faction is trying to frame me to avoid consequences. That's a lot of things that have to go right. Yes. And if they don't, then we both lose everything. I picked up my phone, looked at Patrick's number. I spent 2 years being afraid of him. 2 years running. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. I stood. Because if I don't, he wins. And I'm done letting him win. I called Patrick. He answered immediately. I knew you'd come around, he said. I haven't come around. I have questions. Ask. These people protecting you. The ones who want me to help you. What did they promise you? Money. New identity. And you. You really think I'd go back to you? I think you don't have a choice. Your Mafia boyfriend is going down. With or without your help. I'm offering you a way out that doesn't end with you in witness protection or a grave. How much are they paying you? He hesitated. That's not important. It is to me. I want to know what my cooperation is worth. 500,000, plus relocation expenses. And what do you have to do? Testify that Hyuk-jin threatened me, forced me to leave, that he's been holding you against your will, that you're too scared to leave. That's a lot of lies for 500,000. It's not lies if it's true. It's not true, Patrick. Isn't it? You're living in his house, under his protection, doing work for his organization. Sounds pretty controlled to me. I'm choosing to be here. Are you? Or did he just make you think you're choosing? That question sat in my chest like a stone, because I didn't know anymore. I need time, I said. You have 36 hours. Then I'm talking whether you help me or not. And if I don't help, then you're on your own. And Chin's people are very creative when they're angry. He hung up. I looked at Hyuk-jin. Did you get it? He held up his phone, recording every word. Is it enough? It's a start. But we need more. We need proof that Chin's faction is paying him, that they're coordinating the testimony, that this isn't just Patrick being Patrick. How do we get that? We follow the money, the same way you found the 47 million. He handed me his laptop. Find out who's paying Patrick, where the money's coming from, whose accounts are moving $500,000 to a man who's supposed to be disappeared. I took the laptop, and I started looking. It took me 18 hours. But I found it. $500,000. Transferred 3 days ago from an account in the Cayman Islands to a shell company. Then transferred again to another account in Patrick's new name. The original account belonged to a subsidiary I recognized. KPH Holdings. Chin's operation. He's using the money he stole to pay Patrick. I said. Hyuk-jin looked at the screen. Can you prove the connection? I can trace the transfers. Show the pattern. Match the timing to when Patrick's protection started. I pulled up more files. And there's more. This same account has been paying for Patrick's safe house, his security, his new identity, all of it funded by stolen money. How much total? 800,000 so far, with another 200 promised after he testifies. $1 million to destroy me. To destroy us. Because if you go down, the organization goes down. And if the organization goes down, Chun walks away clean with 47 million. Hyuk-jin made a call. 20 minutes later, we were back in that office. Same 3 seniors. I laid out everything. The email, the threats, Patrick's confession on recording, the money trail showing Chin's faction funding Patrick's protection and testimony. When I finished, the room was silent. You recorded Patrick without his knowledge, one senior said. He was threatening me. Yes, I recorded him. And you traced the payments. Yes. How did you access Chin's accounts? Those are secured. Everything's secured until someone who knows what they're looking for starts looking. I met his eyes. You asked me to find problems. I found them, including the one trying to destroy this organization from the inside. The center senior spoke. Chin has been with us for 20 years. And he's been stealing from you for 3. Using your own systems, Your own trust. I pulled out the final document. This is a full accounting of his operation. Every account, every transfer, every shell company. It's all here. He took the document. Read it slowly. If we move against Chun, he triggers Patrick's testimony. Not if you move first. Give this to the FBI. Show them Chin's been funding a witness to lie. Show them Patrick's confession. Let them handle Chun legally while you handle him your way. And Hyuk-jin. Cooperating witness. Providing evidence against a criminal conspiracy. The FBI won't care about protection work when they can take down a $47 million fraud operation. The seniors looked at each other. Spoke in Korean. Fast. Intense. When they finished, the center man looked at me. You understand what you're proposing. You want us to sacrifice Chun to protect Hyuk-jin, and use Patrick as proof that Chun tried to frame us. I want you to use the truth. Chun stole from you. Patrick's lying for money. I found both. What you do with that information is your choice. And if Chun has insurance, other testimony, other evidence, then I keep digging until I find it all. He smiled. Small. Cold. You are very different from the woman who came here 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I was trying to prove I wasn't a liability. Now I'm showing you I'm an asset. Yes, you are. He stood. We will handle Chun. You will handle Patrick. Handle him how? However you need to. He is your threat. End him. I understood what he meant. Not kill. Destroy. I'll need access to everything Patrick said, everyone he's talked to, every promise he's been made. You'll have it. The meeting ended. We bought time, but the clock was still running, and Patrick still thought he was winning. The attack came 36 hours later. I should have known they wouldn't wait. Chen's people knew we had evidence, knew we'd exposed them, knew they had one move left before everything collapsed. They came for both of us. 3 in the morning. Hyuk-jin's compound. Alarms went off. Lights flooded the grounds. His men moved into position, but Chen's people weren't subtle. They came with numbers, with weapons, with nothing left to lose. Hyuk-jin got me into the safe room. Steel door, reinforced walls, security cameras showing every angle. Stay here, he said. Where are you going? To end this. He left before I could stop him. I watched on the monitors, saw his men engaging, saw the breach attempts, saw the controlled chaos of people willing to kill to avoid consequences. Then I saw something else. Another car, pulling up alone. Someone getting out. Patrick. He walked through the firefight like he was invited. Hands up. No weapon visible. But I knew better. He had something worse than a weapon. He had a wire. I could see it. Small device clipped to his belt. Recording everything. If Hyuk-jin's men killed him, it would be on tape. If Hyuk-jin killed him, it would be murder on recording. Patrick was betting on hesitation. Betting that I'd see him and freeze like I always had. He was wrong. I left the safe room. Hyuk-jin's men tried to stop me. I pushed past them. Patrick saw me coming. Smiled. That smile. The one that used to make me feel special before it made me feel small. Marcia, he said. Loud enough for the wire to catch. I'm here to help you. To get you away from these people. I don't need help. Yes, you do. Look around. This is what he's brought you to. Violence. Danger. This isn't safety. He took a step toward me. I didn't move. You're recording this, I said. I'm documenting it. For when the FBI asks what happened here tonight. You mean for when you lie about what happened? I'm not lying. I'm saving you. He reached for me, and I let him. Let him grab my arm. Let him pull me close. Let him think he was winning. Then I pulled out my phone. Say that again, I said. About saving me. What? Say it again. About how you're here to rescue me. About how this is all Hyuk-jin's fault. About how you're the hero. I held up the phone. Say it for my recording. His face changed. Understanding. You're recording me. Just like you're recording me. Except mine has something yours doesn't. What? The truth. That you walked into an active crime scene. That Chin's people are attacking this compound. That you're here with them. Working with them. Coordinated with them. I stepped back. Your wire is recording evidence, all right. Evidence that you're part of a criminal conspiracy to kill witnesses and destroy evidence. Patrick's hand dropped. Behind him, Hyuk-jin's men were finishing with Chin's people. The attack was ending. Badly for the attackers. You can't do this, Patrick said. I already did. I have your confession. I have the money trail. I have proof you're working with the people who stole $47 million. I looked at him. And now I have you on tape, at the scene of their attack, trying to grab me while recording illegally. They'll still investigate him. They'll investigate you first. Conspiracy. Racketeering. Filing false police reports. Accepting payment to give false testimony. I met his eyes. You're going to prison, Patrick. Not witness protection. Not freedom. Prison. He lunged at me. Grabbed my arm. Hard. Right where he always did. You stupid. He didn't finish. Because Hyuk-jin was there, pulled Patrick off me, threw him to the ground, and put a gun to his head. Don't, I said. Hyuk-jin looked at me. Why not? Because he's more useful alive. Let him testify. Let him tell his story. And then watch the FBI arrest him for perjury when we give them everything. He hurt you. He always hurt me. This time I'm hurting back. With evidence. Patrick was on the ground, bleeding, terrified. You're making a mistake, he said to me. No. 3 years ago, I made a mistake. I believed you when you said you loved me. I believed you when you said the bruises were my fault. I believed you when you said I'd never be anything without you. I crouched down, looked him in the eyes. I'm something now, and you're nothing. Police arrived 10 minutes later. Chin's people were arrested. Patrick was arrested. The scene was documented. And my recording went straight to the FBI along with $47 million worth of evidence. Patrick had come to save me. Instead, I buried him. And I didn't feel bad about it. Not even a little. The fallout took 3 months. Patrick went to trial. Federal charges. Conspiracy. Fraud. Attempted witness tampering. He tried to claim he was coerced. That Chin's people forced him. That he was a victim. The jury didn't buy it. 8 years. Federal prison. Chin got 23. His operation was dismantled. The $47 million recovered. The organization restructured. And I became something I never expected. Valuable. The seniors offered me a permanent position. Forensic financial analyst. Full protection. Autonomy within the organization. Salary that made my old job look like minimum wage. I could have said no. Should have said no. But I didn't. Because for the first time in my life, I was good at something that mattered. Something that used my brain instead of breaking it. I wasn't a victim anymore. I wasn't even a survivor. I was something else. Something Patrick tried to destroy and Hyuk-jin helped me rebuild. I was powerful. Not his power. Mine. 3 months after Patrick's sentencing, I moved into an office in Hyuk-jin's building. My own space. My own team. My own operation. I reported to the seniors directly. Not through Hyuk-jin. Not as his claimed woman. As an independent operator with specialized skills. The first week, I found another discrepancy. Smaller. Cleaner. But there. Handled it before it became a problem. The second week, I audited a new acquisition. Found issues. Fixed them. The third week, one of the seniors called me directly. We have a situation. Possible infiltration in our Los Angeles operations. Can you look? I looked. Found 3 undercover federal agents. Documented their cover identities. Their communication patterns. Their real purpose. Gave the information to the seniors. They handled it quietly. And I realized I'd become exactly what they needed. Someone who could see what others missed. Someone who could find threats before they became disasters. Someone who'd been trained by an abuser to notice every detail, every inconsistency, every lie. Patrick had taught me to see patterns in violence. I'd learned to see patterns in everything else. Hyuk-jin and I didn't live together anymore. Not because we weren't together, but because I needed space that was mine. Space that wasn't protection or claim or anything except my own. He understood. Came by 3 nights a week. Sometimes 4. We had dinner. Talked about work. About the organization. About things that mattered. And sometimes we didn't talk at all. Just existed in the same space. Comfortable. Equal. He wasn't my protector anymore. He was my partner. Not in the romantic sense. Though that was there too. But in the sense that we both had power. Both had value. Both had something the other respected beyond feelings. 6 months after Patrick's sentencing, I was working late. Hyuk-jin came in. Didn't knock. Just walked into my office like he belonged there. You should go home, he said. Almost done. You said that 2 hours ago. This time I mean it. He smiled. Sat in the chair across from my desk. Watch me work. What? I asked. You're different. Different how? Settled. Like you finally figured out where you fit. I looked at him. Did I? You tell me. I thought about it. About the woman who walked into that party 3 years ago, who let Patrick grab her arm because she was too scared to make a scene, who froze while a stranger's hand went to his jacket. That woman was gone. In her place was someone who audited criminals, who found threats, who recorded confessions and sent abusers to prison. Someone who chose this world because it valued what she could do. Yeah, I said. I think I did. Hyuk-jin stood, walked around the desk, kissed me, gentle, like he had the first time. Good, he said, because we have a problem in Miami, and I think you're the only one who can fix it. I smiled. Send me the files. He did, and I got to work. Because this was my life now. Not the life I planned. Not the life I wanted before Patrick destroyed everything. But the life I built after. The life where I was valuable. Where I was chosen. Where I was mine. 3 months later, everything changed again. Not in a bad way. Just different. The seniors called a meeting. All of them. Plus Hyuk-jin. Plus me. I thought it was another audit. Another problem to solve. Instead, it was something else. Marcia, the center senior said, in the last 9 months, you have provided this organization with significant value. You have recovered $47 million. You have identified and removed internal threats. You have prevented federal infiltration. You have proven yourself to be an essential asset. Thank you. We are not thanking you. We are promoting you. I blinked. Promoting me? You currently operate as a consultant, an analyst, someone we call when there are problems. He leaned forward. We are offering you a position as a full member of this organization, with rank, with authority, with permanent protection that is institutional, not personal. I looked at Hyuk-jin. He wasn't surprised. He knew this was coming. What does that mean? I asked. It means you are no longer under Hyuk-jin's protection. You are under organizational protection. Your value is recognized by the collective, not just by him. And if I say no, then you continue as you are, consultant, independent, but without the full benefits and security of membership. What are the benefits? He smiled. Financial security, complete operational autonomy, your own team, your own resources, and the certainty that anyone who threatens you answers to more than just one man. I understood what he was offering. Freedom within structure, power within hierarchy, the chance to be valuable on my own terms. I accept, I said. The meeting continued for another hour. Details, contracts, operational procedures. When it ended, Hyuk-jin and I walked out together. You knew? I said. I recommended it. 3 months ago. Why didn't you tell me? Because it needed to be their decision, not mine. He stopped, looked at me. You're not mine anymore, Marcia. You're theirs. And that's better. Better how? Because if something happens to me, you're still protected, still valued, still safe. He touched my face. I claimed you when you needed it. Now you don't need it anymore. You earned your own place. He was right. I had. The woman who'd been grabbed at a party 3 years ago was gone. The woman who'd frozen while a stranger's hand went to his jacket was gone. The woman who believed she deserved abuse was gone. In her place was someone else. Someone who found patterns, who solved problems, who made dangerous people nervous and powerful people grateful. Someone who chose this life because it gave her what the normal world never did. Value that wasn't about being protected. Value that was about being capable. 2 weeks after my promotion, I was working in my new office. Bigger, better view, full security clearance. My assistant knocked. There's someone here to see you. Says it's personal. Who? She wouldn't say, just said you'd want to know she came. I told him to send her in. The woman who walked through my door was familiar. Someone from before Patrick, before Hyuk-jin, before all of this. My old boss, from the forensic accounting firm where I'd worked 5 years ago. Before I quit, before Patrick convinced me I wasn't good enough. Marcia, she said. Catherine, I heard you were working again. In finance. In a manner of speaking. She looked around my office. At the security. At the obvious wealth and power infrastructure. I came to apologize, she said. For what? For not fighting harder when you quit. For accepting your resignation without asking why. For not seeing what was happening to you. I stared at her. You knew? I suspected. The bruises you try to hide. The way you flinched when your phone rang. The way you stopped smiling. She sat down without being invited. I suspected. But I didn't ask. And I should have. Why are you here now? Because someone told me you're one of the best forensic analysts on the East Coast. That you've recovered millions. That you've built a reputation for seeing what others miss. She met my eyes. And I wanted to know if the rumors were true. If you really became what I always knew you could be. They're true. Good. She stood. Because I wanted to tell you I was wrong. Patrick was wrong. Everyone who let you walk away was wrong. She handed me a card. If you ever want to come back to legitimate work, I have a position for you. Full partnership. Your own team. Complete autonomy. I looked at the card. 5 years ago, I would have cried. Would have taken it. Would have been grateful. Now I just smile. I appreciate the offer. But I'm exactly where I need to be. In organized crime? In a place that values what I can do more than what I've survived. She nodded. I understand. But if you change your mind, I won't. She left, and I went back to work. Because this was my life now. The life I chose. The life I built from the wreckage of the one Patrick destroyed. Was it legal? No. Was it safe? Safer than being helpless. Was it what I planned? Not even close. But it was mine, and that was enough. That night, Hyuk-jin came by. Found me on my balcony, looking out at the city. Catherine came to see me. I said. I heard. She offered me a job. Legitimate work. Partnership. Are you taking it? No. Why not? I turned to look at him. Because the legitimate world didn't save me when I needed saving. Didn't value me when I needed valuing. Didn't see me when I needed to be seen. And this world did. You did. And then you taught me how to save myself. He stood beside me, quiet. Do you regret it? He asked. Any of it? I thought about the party, about Patrick's hand on my arm, about the moment I saw a stranger's hand move toward his jacket, about everything that came after. No, I said, I don't. Even knowing what you know now, what this life costs. This life cost me my innocence, my illusions, my belief that the system protects people like me. I looked at him, but it gave me something better. It gave me power, real power, the kind that comes from being good at something that matters. You could have had that in the legitimate world. Maybe, eventually, after years of proving myself, of fighting for respect, of being underestimated. I smiled. Here, I proved myself once. And that was enough. He kissed me then, not gentle, not controlled, just certain, like he finally believed I chose this. Chose him. Chose the life we built together. And I had. Because 3 years ago, an abusive ex grabbed my arm at a party, and a Korean Mafia boss's hand went to his jacket. That moment should have ended in violence. Instead, it ended in choice. His choice to protect me. My choice to protect myself. Our choice to build something neither of us expected. I wasn't a victim anymore. I wasn't even a survivor. I was Marcia, forensic analyst for a criminal organization, partner to a dangerous man, valuable on my own terms. And I was exactly where I belonged. If you made it all the way to the end of this story, I need to know, what moment hit you hardest? When did you realize Marcia wasn't just surviving anymore? She was winning. Drop it in the comments. And if this story gave you something, if it made you feel something, hit subscribe. Because there are more stories like this. More women finding power in impossible places. More moments where protection becomes partnership. More endings that aren't perfect, but they're earned. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And thank you for believing that broken things can become dangerous in the best possible way.